Today's video I'm taking you to Amsterdam, a place with more tourists each year than its entire population. But is Amsterdam a place suitable for families? Amsterdam is known for canals, but also for its red light district and its relaxed drug rules. So can you enjoy a family trip to Amsterdam? Let's find out. In this video we're going to visit one of the best looking train stations in the world. We're also going to pop in and do some shopping at Lego, as well as look at buying some tulips. Why not? We'll also visit a Primark store, or the entrance to it anyway, as well as one of the most famous cheese shops in the world. Not only that, we're going to visit somewhere that's the Amsterdam equivalent of Cadbury. And maybe do a bit of shopping on the side. Maybe a t-shirt or two. And then maybe go for a little cruise round Amsterdam itself. As well as showing you the best place to park that'll save you a lot of money. Amsterdam is the capital city of the Netherlands, and it's based on canals. In actual fact, the whole city is on 11,000 wooden poles. The best place to park is actually at the arena, and when you get there, the car park, apart from when there's something going on there, is usually very empty, so there's always space. But there's a good reason for going to this one as opposed to other car parks, because when you come to actually pay for your ticket, which is these machines here, if you've gone on rail to the centre of Amsterdam, which you can actually buy your tickets for it next door to it, it reduces the cost of the parking to next to nothing. And all you do is scan it, and then when you walk out of the car park, you are straight into an area that's got supermarket, cinema, that sort of place. You're actually right next to a fantastically positioned station. So you can get straight onto the train, and you want to go to Amsterdam Central. Because if you do any other place, you don't get the discount on the car park. When you get into the station, everything is there for you in English as well as Dutch. The displays are mainly Dutch, but the ticket machine, you just press a button, everything's straight away in English. So you can print your tickets off, get the return ticket to Amsterdam Central.
Hello, camera.
We had plenty of time before our train, so we had our pack up. Why not?
Dad, Dad, what's the clock, is it?
What?
What's the time?
It's almost 15:15. The station is a very large station, to say that this is just on the outskirts. But it wasn't long before our train was there. In here.
Please do not call me Lily. Hello, Lily. Can I call me that? What can I call you? Lily.
Are you looking?
What?
We're right next to the sea. There's the boats there. The train, as it's actually going into Amsterdam itself, drives past the harbour, so maybe not the sea itself, but for a 6-year-old that was close enough for him.
Hi, Katie.
There was only a few stops between the arena and Amsterdam Central. It took about 15-20 minutes, probably about 3 or 4 stops.
Yeah. I see a big thing.
Amsterdam Central is a huge railway station, but it's not just that. As you leave the train station, there are 2 exits, and one exit goes into a huge shopping centre which is part of the train station. So you go into the shopping centre, there's Wagamama, there's coffee places, there's mini supermarkets, clothes shops, everything you could possibly think of. And walking around it is fairly confusing because it is that big. As I think you're getting the idea from this speeded up video. When you leave from the back entrance, you come across this, and you'll get used to the bikes driving around at high speed everywhere, but you actually come out into a lovely area next to the harbour itself. I like what somebody had written here: jump out of your adult life on Hopscotch. Not a bad little thing. But when you go out the main entrance, and it is a fantastic looking entrance or exit, you're going out to somewhere a little bit special, as you'll see now. When you leave, you enter this massive pedestrianised area. When we were there, I mean, we filmed this over 2 days. When we was there was on one day a massive demonstration outside, another day it was totally empty. But look at that building. That is Amsterdam Central railway station, and as we discovered, a massive shopping area. Well, the thing with Amsterdam Central Station, it was built in 1889, but it actually split Amsterdam in half, from the harbour side, which was the main revenue, to the more residential side, if you like. And that's why they think that the city of Amsterdam has been able to move away from just being a seaport to a proper commercial place, because the railway station split it away. This is one of the most popular cheese shops in the world, possibly. The amount of cheeses that you've got in here, and some of them are extremely small, and some of them are extremely big, but they have everything you could possibly think to do with cheeses. Included beard flavoured cheese. Just get a drink of beer to go with your cheese. And you get more alcohol. Obviously you can buy cheese boards, but they have more than just cheese here. They have honey for your cheese. They have dips for your cheese. They have beers that for cheese, wine for cheese. Literally anything you can think of that would go with cheese, they have it. One thing you may not realise is Amsterdam, or the Netherlands, is believed to be where chips were invented, or French fries if you're American. and they come with such wonderful sauces. Obviously we had to visit the tourist shops with their fridge magnets and well, the one thing that they did have there, which if you go into Amsterdam you must buy, is some tulips. Packaged tulips and varieties of tulips that we've never heard of. But I'm not a gardener, so that's maybe not surprising. But when you go into the tourist shops, they are very expensive the nearer to the station that you are. But they've got some unique things like wooden tulips. I wonder where they get that idea from. We also visited Lego store in Amsterdam, which is not the huge Lego store, but it certainly caters for most people. There's a few places where the little ones can build something. I think James was more interested in the Formula 1 cars when we got there. But like you'd expect, not necessarily the cheapest place to buy Lego. You're paying for the experience. And there's some wonderful builders in there. Thomas enjoyed it. When we went up the stairs, they had some very Dutch designs for it. If we go a bit further up, you'll see on the wall some Dutch artwork. Van Gogh we've just gone past. Another Van Gogh there, all made of Lego. Very well done. Spider-Man Lego. Avengers Tower. Bit of Marvel everywhere. I am Groot. You're not allowed to put your hands in, Thomas. James?
Yes, I have it.
James has made quite a few Lego cars over the past few months. And of course, Star Wars Lego. As we was walking through, we came across this arcade, which, if you look at the ceiling on it, and the sides for that matter, it is decorated so well. And there's a Primark stuck in it. In actual fact, that Primark we visited, and it's over 6 floors. Huge place. But this arcade, it was just one of those things that you just look at and you think, this is either very, very old or has been recently done. I think it's very old. And by the way, those 3 X's that you keep seeing at the side, that's the logo for Amsterdam itself. The 3 X's are actually for St Andrew, who was crucified on an X-shaped cross. And because the place was originally fishermen, that's the flag that they flew from Amsterdam, the 3 X's. This was probably the biggest gift shop I've ever seen, purely aimed at tourists, obviously. As you can see, there's just about every different type of clothing you could possibly want, from a decent shirt to something that's labelled Amsterdam. If you're local, you're not going to be buying something that's labelled Amsterdam every day of the week, and they had plenty of it. But the theming in it was fantastic. What with the Delft type prints on some of the ceiling, houses everywhere. And when you went in, the prices were actually reasonable compared to other shops. Not overcharging, so if you do want to go for something, look out for this shop. It is on the main street, it is big. It does have an area selling, shall we say, not necessarily legal things in other countries, i.e. drugs. But the shop itself, just kept walking around it and finding something else that we hadn't seen before. Yes, it had its fridge magnets, yes, it's got its key rings, but it's got everything else as well. And I noticed one thing, there were little ducks this year in the shops. Every place we went there was ducks. Must be the new craze for this year. I do like looking around these shops. You always see something, don't you? But I didn't expect to find toy aircraft. Or rabbits. Lots of rabbits. And other paraphernalia. As I walk down this street with you now, to give you an idea of the sort of shops that there are, and there's plenty of little coffee shops to sit down, have something to eat. By the way, if you want to go to the chip shop, you might have a queue outside, because it is that famous as this particular chip shop that we visited earlier. One interesting fact about Amsterdam itself, apart from the fact that it's built on 11,000 poles, and some of them, they're all wooden poles by the way, so they do rot, is the fact that there are more bikes in Amsterdam, I'm talking cycles, pedal cycles, than there are people in Amsterdam. Apparently the population's about 870,000 and there's about 890,000 cycles in Amsterdam. With it being the capital city, you do get many well-branded shops there, like TK Maxx, who just walked past, like Primark, and your Starbucks, etc. Plenty that you'll recognise. Little sign pointing towards this little door, and this is well worth a quick visit. If you've ever heard of Tony's chocolate bars, they're in supermarkets, they're way more expensive than anything else that's in the supermarket. Cadbury's, Mars, anything like that, a lot cheaper than these. You walk into this thing through that small door and you're coming into the equivalent to Willy Wonka's factory. If you arrive early enough, you can design and make your own chocolate bar while you're there. But if you don't, there's plenty there for you to choose yourself. We've had them. They're in the supermarkets as is. As you can see there, at this time when we were there, it was euros it was £4.69, so about £4 per chocolate bar. They're not the biggest of chocolate bars either, but it's nice chocolate, certainly a higher level than many chocolates out there, and you certainly got a variety to choose from. As you can see on that sign, a little bit of a wait to make your own. If you did it, you'd have had to have gone in the morning, made it, and come back in the afternoon to collect it. But it'd be your chocolate bar. Of course, it isn't just chocolate bars. They also sell chocolate milk. You've got your own little boxes to buy a selection of them, your own mugs. Chocolate milk.
Do you want to get some?
How much is it?
I don't know. £2.79.
Right, chocolate milk. Chocolate milk. Card game.
I just don't speak Dutch, so I'd need somebody to translate for me. Thankfully, got your Dutch speaker here.
All James meant was I've been learning it on Duolingo. Not very good, but there you go. But when you're in the Netherlands, just about everybody speaks perfect English. In fact, you quite often hear Dutch people talking to each other in English, which surprised us, put it that way. If you want to get some, just say so, James.
Well, might as well.
You've seen some chocolate milk. Yeah. What?
Someone gave Thomas a chocolate.
Did they? You left. Show me. Show me. What did he get? Chocolate. Yeah, very good. Well worth a visit, this place. Put it on your list if you go to Amsterdam. But you might struggle to find it, but it is there. And the exit is so discreet, just like the entrance. And it's just off the actual main road in Amsterdam itself, from the Amsterdam Central station. There's a big building there. You just need to look for the sign. When you get to the end of the main street in Amsterdam, there's this huge square. Yeah, you've got trams going through it and you have got a little bit of a road going through it, but this is one massive square. It's actually called Dam Square because this is the site of the original dam in Amsterdam. Because the River Amster flowed through here and they dammed it off. Hence the name Amsterdam. But this is where it all started from. The basics of modern Amsterdam is, if you like, 3 circular canals with connecting canals. The inner circle was the posh houses, where the multi-millionaires of the time would live. Likes of Sting actually has one of those houses now. The second circle was the places of those who had commercial businesses, and the outer circle was for the normal people and for the warehouses and things like that. But this was the place where it all began, Amsterdam Square. What we did find is that there's always something going on in the square itself, like street performers, but also you get in people who are doing demonstrations, things like that. And on this particular occasion, the street performer was somebody who was able to fit himself through small holes and that sort of thing, little hoops that nobody normally could fit in. He would do it. That big building there is the Royal Palace. Built in the 17th century, it's still used for official things and ceremonies now. And just next to it, you've got a 15th century church. One of the most famous things about Amsterdam is a person called Anne Frank, who was killed by the Germans and hid in the middle of Amsterdam. Well, this is the building. You see that building at the edge with the whitish facade? That's actually the entrance to the museum for her, but this is the actual doorway that we're stood in front of now, that is the Anne Frank's actual house, and she lived right at the top of this in the loft. Always people having the photos taken, like some strange people here. The views from the canals are spectacular at times. You just need to stand there and look at them. But each bridge is also different. We have actually done a video, which will be coming out very soon, of the cruise themselves. Just a ride round. It took us about an hour, but you saw some sights that you wouldn't see elsewhere. And the one thing you will notice is there are cruise ships going round everywhere. We also learnt quite a bit on the cruise actually. It's well worth it, and it's not that dear. But that's for the next video that we're going to do, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. It'll be a little bit different, a little bit more relaxed than this one, whereas this one's giving you more of an insight into the place. That'll give you more of a background to it, if you like. If you fancy watching that one, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notifications one if you want to be notified when it comes out. Why not?
Why not? Post it for the group.
What we did find, there was plenty of places to just sit and watch the canals, watch the ships, the boats go past. Found this nice little place, rest our feet for a bit while we had a walk around the canals. And when I say canals, they are big, as you can see. But these canals were used for business. Up until recent years, that's their main thing. And if you want to go on one, you're talking just over €14 for an hour's trip. A little bit less for children. There is a pizza one, right? You can go on a cruise where you can have a pizza that comes halfway through it. If you want to go on that, it's about 5-6 o'clock at night, but you need to book that in the morning, because when we went, we were too late to book it for ourselves. As we're walking down this street, look at that hotel over there, the Victoria. If you come, and the video doesn't show it very well, there's actually a house in that. Now what I mean is, the owners bought one side of the house, they bought the other side of the house. The house owner would not sell, so they built over the house. Very unique looking building. Talking about buildings, as you walk alongside the canals, and it's well worth doing so, you'll come across some very unusual buildings. One of the things we learnt is that at one point, because land was so hard to get, bearing in mind that all this is on wooden poles, you could only have a frontage that was so wide, so the buildings went upwards. They also went a long way backwards. So what may look like a very thin building goes back a long way. But like that red one there, the one with the red doors on it, what people used to do was buy 3 or 4 buildings and then build them together. Which sort of defeats the object of it, but there you go. You'll also find shops, bars, all along the canal side. And lots of bikes. There are also plenty of little bars, little cafes that have certain things on the menu that perhaps you wouldn't find elsewhere.
Het is niet meer VWO Antoine, het is nu gewoon Antoine. Het is nu bachelor
And sometimes you find things that you just manage to catch on camera at the right time. Big boat going straight on, little boat almost rides into it. Captain stops the boat, shouts at them, tells them what they should be doing before continuing. He did it in a nice way though. But you can imagine that that must happen because you can actually rent the boats to go down the canals yourselves. And how he manages to get past that and then turn to get into that bridge. Obviously a very good driver. I must admit, we sat there for quite some time just watching the boats. And those houseboats, believe it or not, are more expensive than most of the houses in Amsterdam now, because there's obviously so much space taken up by them. So is Amsterdam a place you can take your family? Yes. Is there things to be aware of? Yes. Areas not to maybe go. I have heard equally that there's many pickpockets around, so you need to watch for them. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of Amsterdam. We enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, why not subscribe to my channel for more travel inspiration, reviews and hidden gems, so you can plan your next perfect getaway. See you on the next video. Bye for now.